Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my co-stars Judy Loge and Veronique Arsenault on this gorgeous, beautiful Monday afternoon here in Miramichi.
I'm back!
Absolutely, yes, and you're back from gallivanting around the city.
Yes, that's what I did.
Suitable word.
I took a real break, slept in. No,
that's not what happened.
not.
That's not what happened.
Not at all, exactly. You were taking care of business with the Irish Festival.
Yeah.
Kept you very, very, very busy.
Well, it was wonderful, and then I had taken a day off work, so I was too swamped on Monday to be able to take off from work.
Yeah.
She's back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm up with our quote of the day,
Yep.
something I'm going to start off with. If you are a friend of mine on Facebook, you would have been able to see more than likely what my quote was going to be, because I tend to search it and share it beforehand. And this is my quote or saying for today. It says, "One day it just clicks. You realize what's important and what isn't. You learn to care less about what other people think of you and more about what you think of yourself. You realize how far you've come, and you remember when you thought things were such a mess that they'd never recover. And then you smile. You smile because you are truly proud of yourself and the person you fought to become."
That is absolutely
Very
beautiful.
Yeah,
I
thought
love
that
that
was
one. That's one of
fantastic.
the best quotes we've had, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that.
No, it doesn't
resonates
say
with
who,
me.
other than it's a website, I believe. It says, "Then there's this too,"
Yeah.
is where it comes from. And
Beautiful.
I shared it as well. That one of my friends had shared it on Facebook. And it's just amazing to me now when I think back. I wish I had some form of knowledge of all this 10, 20 years
Yes,
ago.
yes.
You know what I mean?
I wish I knew now
not
what I know
care
now.
about what
Right.
other people think and thought.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
And
I
you
try.
only don't care as much, for sure.
And I find myself trying to share that with my children now because they hold such value in it. And I'm just like, oh, that part is not going to matter later. And I don't know how to get them over that.
It builds their character too.
True.
I mean, we all have to go through that stuff.
And grow.
Yeah.
You just hate to see them hurt over
of
that
course.
kind of
Oh
stuff.
my gosh,
you know what I mean? But it'll just make them a stronger person.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. Exactly. If you haven't noticed, we have a guest that has joined us today. We have a number of guests today, so
We're a
we
full
wanted to
show.
get very full show. So we wanted to get started right away, and we have Brad Russell joining us today.
Hello, Bradley.
Thank you very much for having me
He is an
on.
executive member of the James M. Hill Alumni who is joining us today to tell us all about their organization and everything that's happening there.
Thank you for having me on. A little bit of backstory, I guess. Myself and my wife, Sarah Mott, are both graduates from James M. Hill. We're both from the class of '99. We
So
both
you're
went away.
younger than I am.
Yeah, I'm like, we have
No,
a
no, no,
panel
that's
of James M. Hill
We
grads.
together, didn't we, Brad?
Yes, we
I
did.
think
Yes.
you were one of my fellow graduates.
We all are
You were prom queen that year, right? Yes, I remember.
It was very memorable.
It was. So after graduation, we both went away to UNB. We took nursing, and then we both decided to come back and settle on the river and raise our family here, where we have 3 lovely children now, 2 girls and a boy,
Yes.
and are both employed at the hospital.
Thankful you came back and made your career here. Settled in Miramichi, and 2 wonderful individuals to have in our town.
Well, thank you
in
so much.
our city.
That's true.
So what ended up happening is our eldest daughter, in the last few years, has gone to James M. Hill, and through her, we got reconnected with the school. So being both graduates and formerly from the school, with her now having ties there, we got to be around the school more through sports and through activities. And my wife had the great idea that both being alumni and now having a child at the school, this would be a great opportunity for us to give back in our spare time.
Very nice.
Because you have lots of spare time with 3
Because
children.
with 3 children and
and
2
2
graduates.
very busy careers.
Yes. So what we ended up doing is we sat down and we thought about what we could do and what would be the best way to give back. And that was kind of the formation of the JMH Alumni at that time. So since 2012, we've been working together to give back to the school in any way that we can. Basically, our projects look to enrich either the education or the environment of James M. Hill, while not contributing to the core school.
Right.
We look after periphery and extras that way.
So the stuff that maybe wouldn't get covered in the typical, upgrading of schools and stuff.
Right, not typically stuff that falls within their budget. Those nice little extras that make the school a great place to go to. All those things we remember when we went to school.
Yes.
We want everyone else to have those afterwards. So.
And I can tell you, as a parent support committee member, of James M. Hill. My son graduated, but I've been there forever. The principal and staff speak really highly of the contributions you've made as alumni. The things that people might not notice in the community, they truly value as administration staff.
We've been
And the
very, very
community.
lucky to have such a great staff there through Bill Kierstead,
Yes.
Glenda, Heidi. Everyone has been very, very helpful having us on board and putting up with all of our projects and extras that we do add in.
It's hard to believe though
they're
that you guys have been on the go since 2012.
Yeah.
It's like you've done so much, but it also seems like just yesterday when I first heard about you guys, and I've gotten to work with you on a couple of projects, so I know how much work that you guys
Yes.
do. But yeah, since 2012.
We've done
Yeah,
things, Verity and I, with you
Exactly.
back a few years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, the first few years kind of took a little bit to build up steam and to get ourselves established. By the time you get the board together and a good group of people who can work well together to get things actually achieved, that took a little bit of time. But in the last couple of years, we've really got the ball rolling, and we've got some great projects that we've done. In the last little while, we've contributed to the refurbishment of the new James M. Hill Commons area,
Okay.
which is a new library area.
That is beautiful.
It is a fantastic environment.
Very impressive.
Yeah, we've contributed and built a new fitness center for the students of James M. Hill.
Yes, you have.
So in the in the mezzanine area that was above the gymnasium, we kind of refurbished that. We bought them all new equipment for free weights and workout equipment.
Oh, wow.
And with the Lindsay Davis, I believe.
Lindsay Davis.
Sorry, Tucker now.
She
She
was
was a Davis when I went to
Davis.
school.
I babysat her, and then she babysat my children.
See there, that's
you
What
it.
goes around comes
It always
around.
does.
So through her, what we've been able to do is we've been able to take that fitness center and we've been able to work it into the curriculum at James M. Hill so that every child who goes through the school takes phys ed and then they go through our fitness center to learn, proper, lifting and training and health techniques
Yes.
without having to go to a gym and rely on equipment. So it's just healthy everyday lifestyle.
So it's not just for the kids that have joined the sports, it's for everyone within the school.
Our goal is to touch as many children as possible and try not to get wrapped up in specific groups. So that's why we kind of started with the gym and then we moved on to the library. And then from there, we've now branched out to hit some other areas. So in the last little while, we were able to help the yearbook committee. We bought them a brand new camera, which is great. So now they can take photos at all the dances and the sports events, which contribute to James M. Hill. We've started 2 scholarships at the school, so we contribute there on a yearly basis. This last year, we contributed $500 towards scholarships for graduates.
Isn't that lovely?
We've purchased new volleyball equipment for the school to help them with that, some
Wow.
new nets and posts.
You know what? I know for a fact
really,
that the community has no idea
No,
all
I
of the
know.
things that you've done.
I
Just
do
in
only
that-
because of being
Yeah,
in the
but
school system.
The community in general has
They
no
would
idea.
not. Isn't
Well,
it?
yeah.
I'm proud.
That's amazing.
Well, Sarah's idea for this was not really ever the recognition. It's just to give back to the school that we remember so
Yeah, of
fondly.
course. But I have to mention,
But it's huge.
I'm just going to stop you there because I have to mention your wonderful wife, Sarah, received a fantastic award
She did.
in April, I think it
She's
was.
so humble.
She was the Heart and Soul Award recipient for
Yes.
an organization for the first annual volunteer Mayor Machine.
Yes.
And gave a wonderful speech that night. So I was
She
very
did.
proud.
So
very proud of her.
deserving.
We were
that
very proud of her.
Yes.
Yes.
Proud
So
of you too.
she is tireless worker. She does everything behind the scenes, but she doesn't really like to be the face of
I
things.
know.
So I get to be the beautiful face of the JMH.
Yes. Ole.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, we all have our place.
That's right.
The new face will have a chat.
That's right.
So the last thing that we kind of did as an association just recently is we purchased a new lighting board for the theater.
Oh, beautiful.
Because the James M. L. Theater is a great part of the city, and it's a great venue that does so many wonderful things.
It needs
kinda
a lot
leads
of
us.
work.
It does need a little bit of work, which leads us
Yeah.
into our next venture. So, in conjunction with the Anglophone North School District and the James M. Hill Drama Club and David Gopi, James M. Hill Alumni has joined up to complete the James M. Hill Theater Capital Project.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Big one.
So what's the price tag on that puppy?
We're looking at about $250,000 right now. So that is going to be a lot of events and a
big
lot
puppy.
of
Hard
yes,
work.
it is.
It's a big puppy.
But you know what? We've got the time and we've got the drive to do it. So it may take us a few years, but we eventually will get there. But it's nice to know that already in the last little bit, we're seeing changes to the school already. So this summer, renovations have already started to take place. So come the fall, I'm proud to announce David Gopi is doing The Lion King
Oh,
for its fall
that's
production.
fabulous.
I heard.
So we
He's
have
so
already,
talented.
I know.
he's so great with
Dedicated.
those
Yeah.
kids. Just this summer, we've got new seats going into the theater
Nice.
in a new formation, which is going to now allow the kids to access the theater better,
Oh.
as well as the James M. Hill alumni have donated $10,000 to have the theater repainted.
That is incredible.
So it's just touch-ups to start, but we have lots planned for the future.
And the theater really is such a focus in the high school.
Oh, yes.
Miramichi
Oh, a lot
Valley
of-
has their pool.
Yes.
And I always said, took pride in our theater because it's not just the school, like you said, that benefits. It's the whole community.
No,
we
for
have
sure.
No,
concerts
there's a
there
number
and
of organizations
people
that
use
look
it
to
so
use that
often,
area.
and it's a beautiful
Yeah.
theater. I've
It
done
is
acting in there
lovely.
myself on that stage, and
I've
you
been
know,
backstage.
love
and,
that theater.
And it's just, well, I don't think when I went to high school that I ever felt like we were missing out. It was amazing that we had that beautiful
I
theater
know.
and our library and the gym.
Yes.
Everything seemed to be, but I mean, that was a long time ago.
Not as long as I have been there.
But, you know, to see that these changes are happening and that, because my kids are now going through that
That's
school
right.
system. I've already got 2 that went through, and
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to death that the next
The-
2 that are going in
Right.
Yeah.
will have all these new
Me
upgrades.
too. I'm happy for you
and
that
be
your
able
children
to
will benefit.
benefit from them.
And that's exactly it. The productions they put on are absolutely wonderful. So we do have other ideas. We would like to work on a new sound system. We would like to work on a new curtain and pulleys for the kids. It's not just the stuff that everyone sees, but all that backstage stuff that kind of needs a
Exactly.
little bit of love and TLC.
No, that stuff wears
it needs
out
to be-
too and
be
needs to be
touched up on.
replaced.
But we'd also like to say just the Miramichi City Council's been really, really good too. They've donated to the school as well and helped them get a new soundboard. So they both have new lighting boards and soundboards for the production.
Tyson Terry will be pretty happy then.
Tyson, yes. Tyson's put lots of
Very
hours into
pumped
us.
about that.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
So how does the community? So I'm an alumni.
Me too.
Alumni.
Alumni?
Yeah.
Alumni, we're alumni.
We'll figure out what that is later. Anyway, I went to James M. Hill. We'll go with that. How do I get involved with the association? How do I help you raise money? How do I do all of that stuff?
Well, we do have multiple events that we run every year, and we do have a few coming up that we'll talk about. But if you're looking to volunteer, if you're looking to get involved with the board, you can always just reach us or myself, Brad, or my wife, Sarah, at JMH, the JMH Alumni Facebook page. So I
Great.
believe it's JMH
Yes.
Alumni and Friends. We're on Facebook. We have multiple moderators that watch it for us. You can always just send us a message and say that you're interested. If you're not looking for a commitment as big as sitting on the board and attending the meetings,
Yeah.
we're always looking for volunteers. At some of our smaller events, everything from 50-50s to people working doors to just small one-time events. It's a great way to get out. It's a good way to connect with the kids and with the school. And like in the last 5 years, it's really done a lot for us too.
Your daughter Mackenzie is what grade?
She's going into grade 12.
Grade 12. So she must be very proud of your endeavors.
She's
Excited.
reaping the benefits.
And
Yes.
you certainly must be
Yes.
saying, my mom and dad have such an involvement in this school that I know I'd be excited if that was my parents doing it.
It's nice for us too because most parents aren't as connected with the school unless you're volunteering
Yeah.
through sports or something else. You send your child, but you're
I
not
know.
directly involved. Here we're there. Her mother is at the
much.
school at least once a week, keeping an eye on
Yes,
things.
very dedicated.
And all the teachers, everything else. And we're lucky. She's a wonderful, wonderful child, so that makes things easy for us
She's
too.
a beautiful
We
girl.
have a couple of other things that are up and running too, projects that you do. There's the Student and Athlete of the Month.
We launched the Student and Athlete of the Month to give recognition to the kids of James M. Hill. We can never recognize our kids enough and really praise them for the things they do well. We wanted to create something that didn't just always hit the top athlete or the top scholastic
Right,
child.
I like that.
We wanted things that looked at a monthly basis on who was doing something great that month and then prized them for doing it.
Exactly. Makes them more well-rounded.
It does,
Right?
and it shows recognition to their peers and to everyone else of what they're accomplishing.
So is that Kim Harris that's involved with putting their pictures on the wall? Is that the
Kim
same?
Harris does all our photography for us.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and she does actually up all the posters as well. She does a fantastic job. They're beautiful for anyone who's seen them.
They are.
And yearly Giver on the River, I believe, does
Write-up?
a
They
little
do.
write-up with all our photos in it,
With
which is
all
so
of them for
nice.
the
Nice.
school year. That's fantastic too. So you also have on Wall of Fame. What's that?
That's new.
Yes,
That's
actually
brand new?
that's still in the works, but
Oh,
we're
okay.
hoping to make this coming this November. Will hopefully be the first JMH Alumni Wall of Fame Gala.
Wow.
So what our
Oh, a
hope here
gala.
is we would like to create an event, much like the student athlete, but to recognize people who have made contributions to James M. Hill. So our goal will be, I believe the deadline will be August 31st. What we're doing is we're looking for people in the community to submit nominations
Yes.
of individuals who have given to James M. Hill. And then what we'll do is on a yearly basis, we'll choose 3 people. And
Three.
then we will do a gala in their honor to show the community basically who they are, what they did, how they contributed to the school. We'll have an event for them, and then the money's raised will go back into James M. Hill, and then they'll go on our new Wall of Fame, which is
That's
being
fantastic.
Another
created.
amazing idea. You just
love
keep
that.
coming up with them.
Well, I just get to be the face. There's someone who tells me all this great
Sarah.
stuff behind the scenes.
Whose idea was it to have the mom and dad prom that they did? Because that was one of the fundraisers that you guys did, and I actually got the opportunity to go to the prom for the first time with my husband.
Oh, neat.
That though we knew each other and we were acquaintances, and there was. I did ask him to the prom, sort of nonchalantly, through a friend of a friend of a friend. That always works out so well. But anyway, when this came up, I was like, "You were so taking me to the prom," and we did, and it was a wonderful event.
I think what we were doing at that time was we were trying to come up with events that we could incorporate with the school. And a lot of us do remember prom and
Some fondly,
Some
some
of us don't
fondly, some
remember
not
it.
so much.
Let's not talk about it.
But this was another opportunity to do something different, just to try something else. And we had a great response. People who went really enjoyed themselves. Whenever you can have a night to dress up and go and do something like that and relive,
Yeah.
not necessarily the glory days, but the old high school days again. We had great response to that.
So when you talk about gala coming up for the Wall of Fame, are you talking dress up dinner, that kind of thing, like high end, or just sort of like casual dressy and buffet or something? You don't know yet.
We're kind of in between, right? We would like it to be a more high-end event because we want these people to be
To really show them.
represented in the right way.
Something elegant.
But we also want it to be available to everybody. We
Right.
really
That's
want
right.
the community
And be
to be
comfortable.
involved and,
And be
come
comfortable, not to
and
pay a fortune for a new outfit or something.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of a process. What we're doing is we're looking at our nominees and where it's going to go,
Right on.
and looking at the venue. It would be something we would like to keep at James M. Hill.
I
So think
love
that would
the
be a good
idea.
spot as well.
Exactly.
So that'll be what we're working on over the summer.
Never
and
stop.
once we receive our nominations, we'll have those chosen. All nominations submitted by August 31st, and I can actually give the website too if you guys don't mind.
Yes,
That would be
definitely.
great.
Or,
Before we go to commercial break, yes,
for anyone
fill
who's
us all in.
interested in nominating someone for this, JMH Alumni Wall of Fame at gmail.com.
Okay.
All you have to do is email us at that email. Let us know who you're looking to nominate, and then we can provide you the paperwork that you need. You fill out the nomination form, you provide some background references on who they are, and then we have a committee of school and community-related members who will screen these on a yearly basis, we hope, and choose three people for this
Should
year.
we notify the person that we're nominating them, or can that be done
We
later
will do
without
that
their-
for you. It
later
can
without
definitely
their
be
nom-
done. But they will all be notified by September 15th. All candidates who have been accepted will be notified. That way, if
Lovely.
someone
Okay.
is a little more humble or does not
Okay.
wish to be represented in
That's
that way,
just it.
we still have
you
time
do run
to
across that
work.
sometimes too.
Yeah, no, we
Okay.
always do.
Great. Thanks so much, Brad, for joining us
Yeah,
today.
that
and
was
telling us
awesome. Keep
all
up the great
about-
work.
I really appreciate it.
Awesome
Yes.
job to you and Sarah and your
Fantastic.
committee.
I'll let
Yes.
her know. Thanks,
We'll be
guys.
right back with more Have a Chat after this short break. Don't go away. We will have Darren McCormick with us. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. Up next, we have another great guest joining us. Darren McCormick is here to tell us all about what he's been up to here in Miramichi. Hi, Darren.
A little bit about you, too.
Never
Yes.
a dull moment with Darren. Never a dull moment with Darren.
No, he's a great guy.
So, in case there's anybody who doesn't know who you are, Darren, tell us a little
Well,
bit
my
about
name is
yourself.
Darren McCormick. I live here in the Miramichi. I have for the better part of my life, and I guess what this is all about. It's about fun, having some fun, and doing something in the community, so we don't really have to leave town to
That's right.
have the kind
To
of
be
fun we
entertained.
want to have.
And we love fun.
Yeah, and anyone that knows me, they know I like to have a good time. And,
And so do we.
Yeah,
So that's
what we
right.
have planned is, and the way it's kind of shaping up, it's going to be the best Tuesday of the summer.
Oh,
Yeah, next Tuesday, or I guess a week from this Tuesday,
okay.
August 2nd, at the Vogue Theatre, we have an event called An Evening with Steve Poltz and special guest Steve Heckbert and his Shad Bangers.
And I know Steve Heckbert, but I do
Yeah.
not know the first guy.
Yeah, well,
So
the
this
first
is
guy,
a singing concert that's coming
yeah,
up.
it's a
okay.
music, yeah, and
Music.
it's a solid, no, I'd say 3.5, 4 hours of music.
Oh my
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna, so,
This is the
yeah. and
Good
it's-
thing Victor did those seats over then.
Yeah. So we're
Cushy.
looking forward. We formed a few partnerships. One with Victor and his crew, and that's what we want to do is utilize that venue.
Perfect.
We want to get people into it, and we teamed up with the Rod Hotel, and they're a sponsor of ours. They're
So good like that,
accommodations.
aren't they, to help
Yeah.
out people in the
Always, yeah.
community?
And one first that we're having for this concert is we're going to have a bar at the Volk. Never been done before.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Have
so
all your licensings.
Yeah, so, and that's through the Rod as well. So we're going to have a bar there. Someone wants to have a drink of wine
Isn't
or a glass
that
of beer while
relax?
we're taking in the music.
Beautiful.
And,
That'll be
and
different.
also,
I like it.
what the Rod's going to do is have their grill on the go. Did you see it out
Oh,
on
yes,
the waterfront
yes,
on
yes.
Canada Day weekend?
Well,
they
and
have
during the Irish Fest too.
they have a special burger that they're just preparing for this, and it's
Just
called
for
the
this?
Vogue Burger.
The
And they have a full menu, not a full menu, but a barbecue menu, right? So you can have a snack. That's going to be out on the sidewalk.
Love
Okay,
it.
what
Yeah.
time? What time are we doing
The
this?
doors open at 6,
Okay,
and the music starts at 7.
Okay, August 2nd is what day of the week?
It's a
Tuesday.
It's
Tuesday.
a Tuesday evening.
Next
So
Tuesday.
tell us a little bit about Steve Poltz, because
Yeah.
we were all talking, of course, before the
Yeah,
show.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
Steve Heckbert we know a lot about, and
Yeah.
because of course he's
Former
from here,
Mayor
and,
Shear.
and,
For sure.
and
Great guy.
all that. But tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
Steve Poltz and why we need to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his name is not immediately recognizable to everybody, but I would say his work would be, certainly. Like he's been recording music for the past 30 plus years. And I stumbled across him. I work around the Maritimes, and in the evenings, I like taking in live entertainment. It's what I like to do and what I like to see. So one night I see a poster there for Steve Poltz. So I went into this restaurant. I had supper, and I said, "Well, I'll just stick around." And I was blown away. Blown away. Like he's phenomenal. Like he's just one guy with a guitar, but he can captivate a crowd. And he has you from start to finish.
Performer.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be able to
Entertainer.
sing. It's one thing
Yeah.
to have a nice voice and stand on the stage and sing and you have the vocals. But if you don't have that presence
Yeah,
and
and he has
entertaining
that.
type of persona,
Yeah.
then you kind of lose them to the excitement of it all.
Yeah, and he's all that. Like a phenomenal guitar player for the musicians out there. Like he's a finger picker, and you should see him going. And then storyteller, and just the spur of the moment, things that just take off, and he just makes it work.
So who is it that we know him through?
Yeah, so like way back in the day, I think it was 1995. Him and his girlfriend at the time recorded a song called "You Were Meant for Me," and his girlfriend was Jewel.
Oh, and his
And
girlfriend was
it
Jewel.
was the second longest running song on the Billboard Top 100.
We can all sing it
We
right
can
now.
all
Like,
sing it.
I-
We all know the word that his
We're all
girlfriend was
singing it
Jewel.
now.
Yeah.
I have followed her for years and I
Yes, I
absolutely
know.
love her
Yeah.
voice. So they were a couple.
She's so
Yeah.
talented. She's so talented.
Yeah, and he does a version of that during his stage show, and the story behind that song and how it was written and where they were.
He'll talk about
and he
that.
does that on stage, and it is phenomenal. People will be rolling their seats
So you
laughing.
bumped into him somewhere.
Yeah, so we met him. I met him at the Carlton in Halifax,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I was captivated. I said, I got to bring this guy
We
home,
gotta
and
bring
introduce
him
him to
to
Miramichi, right?
Yeah.
So what type of voice would he have? Like can you compare him to another singer, for example, like a Bryan Adams
it
type
wouldn't
voice?
sound
or-
like, but I would say like a
Comparable.
similar, like a John Prine. You know, John Prine, the
Okay.
singer-songwriter, but
Yeah.
but different than that again.
Okay.
Like he's a folk rock singer.
Oh, folk
right?
rock.
Yeah. He also had another song on a very popular movie called Notting Hill. Remember Julia Roberts?
Julia
and,
Roberts.
Hugh Grant was that?
Hugh
yeah.
Grant,
Yes.
Yeah, and his was the main song in there. It was
Wow.
called Everything About You. It's another love song.
Well, he's a pretty incredible man then.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we liked his stuff and we didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly.
You what,
yeah.
Beryl?
We
And-
liked his stuff and we didn't know it.
Right
Exactly.
on.
Exactly.
Steve Poltz.
And he's a professional. Like he plays over 200 shows a year, so that's more than every second night. And like he's just coming. Like
gosh.
about a month ago, he's in Australia. This is his only stop in New Brunswick. So
Is
yeah.
Miramichi.
Yeah,
We're
the day
getting up
before,
there.
he's at a festival in Massachusetts, and then
Okay.
he's flying up here. He's coming to Miramichi for this show, and then he's down to Halifax again, and Lunenburg, and then God knows
I just
where
keep
after that.
picturing that conversation. Hey, Steve, you want to come to the Miramichi? And they're and he'd be
That's like, where's
"Where?"
that? What's that?
Yeah,
But Miramichi, I must say, is advancing.
yeah.
Oh, it
my
really
goodness,
is.
yeah.
I see other communities
We're
kind of
getting some
dying
amazing
down a little bit, and I
talent.
think we're ramping it up a little bit
Yeah.
when I look
Yeah.
at what we've done over the years.
And that's what I look at, musicians that tour around the Maritimes and
Yes.
this and that. To give a musician one more place to stop, it makes their whole tour more worthwhile, right? It's
Worthwhile,
not just
for
Moncton and
sure.
Halifax or, you know what I mean, these places.
But
We
when
can add
Miramichi is the
onto
only
that.
spot in New Brunswick,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
And the
I
casinos
feel.
held things. You've been
That's
in concert
just
at
it.
the Riverside
Brett
Entertainment
Kissel
Center.
Came.
Yeah.
We were his only
Yes.
stop
That's
in New
right.
Brunswick.
But if you look too at Whalen's Barn, you know,
Yes,
and
Terry
even
Whalen's
the
group.
Miramichi Opry, like we're
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I think we're
We're
getting
a
little
place to
reputation.
stop.
Yeah, we are. And when I was in negotiations with them, he had the choice of coming here, St. John's, Newfoundland, and he settled on us and what we
Good.
proposed. And it was more because he wasn't here before. He's been to
Right.
St. John's. He kind of like to
Okay.
open
Yeah.
new grounds, and
That's
I'm sure
right.
like
New audiences.
once everyone sees them there, Tuesday, August 2nd,
Wow.
they will love them.
I know.
And they'll want him back.
Yep,
You
they'll
know what
want
I'm
him
saying?
back.
He might be is thinking, okay, down the road I'll do that show again
Yeah.
in Miramichi.
Exactly.
Isn't that
We can thank
amazing?
you for that though, because you're working your way there to
And
get
I'm just
people.
one, like I'm, today I'm here and promoting it, right? The night of the show, like I did do the organizing and making this happen.
Yeah.
But the night of the show, I kind of want to step back and just watch it
And
all
enjoy
happen.
it.
You do.
So I have a friend of mine, Stephen LaBelle. You guys familiar
Yes,
with Stephen
I know
LaBelle?
Stephen.
And his acting career's taken off now. So
We'll
he's
have to have
agreed
him
that
on
he's going
here.
to MC the show.
Wow.
And so, he has a really good stage presence, great personality.
We should get him
very
on the
funny.
show,
I
actually,
think
Stephen
so.
LaBelle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Would be
Yeah,
another
he's
great
got
guest.
some stuff to talk about.
I know he does.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I love how we have one thing, then we go to the
No, but it's
Yeah.
great
We're still
because
booking.
we
Yeah.
love to
We're
have
booking
guests on
always.
always. So,
Yeah.
and you're another great guest to have and keep us informed about. And we want to know about Stephen Hackford, a former
Yes.
Miramichier that's an
Yeah,
entertainer.
Stephen Eckford, I just remember that album cover in my
Yeah.
parents' album collection my whole life, and I used to wake
As a
up on
kid diving
Saturday
into
mornings
that,
and play albums, and I used to play that. So
he's coming that night, too.
Yeah, he's coming. Yeah, he used to do the Shadbangers Ball, and that's something that kind of I like the sound of this. And,
Like the what
and-
name?
And yeah,
Yeah,
he-
I'm
he- and so I supported that, and I went to them, and I kind of got to know him, and then he had an accident down in Houston, Texas,
Oh.
there, and he had a long recovery.
Did not know that.
So the Shadbangers Ball was. It's been a while since he's been back. So this would be his first performance in a couple of years. On the
Now,
river.
is it the same evening or is it a different night?
This
Are
is
they
all
doing?
same
It's
evening.
all in one
Yeah,
night.
the
All
way
in one.
the flow of the evening is Steve Heckford comes out solo,
Yeah.
solo acoustic set.
Okay.
And then there's an intermission, and then Steve Poltz plays his main set, and then the grand finale at the end of the night. Steve Heckford comes back out with the Shadbangers
wow.
and just going to blow the roof off the place.
Wow.
So it's like a 3 to
Yeah.
4 hour event.
Yeah.
And
Man,
how much are tickets?
They're $20.
that's really
Yeah.
decent.
$20.
And they're available at the
Imagine.
Rod, Ben's, and Mill Cove Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, and 25 at the door.
That is pretty fantastic for that
$20,
caliber of
yes.
entertainment.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a bar set up.
Exactly. Barbecue,
Why are you hung up in that little aspect, Audrey?
Well, I know where the money can be made. It's not going to lie.
She does turn bar, don't you?
I'm a bartender from way back. So
She's
something
good
hard
at
to give
that.
up.
Yeah.
Good
And
for
there's
that.
also one more Steve involved in the whole show,
Oh.
right? So we got Steve Heckford.
Yeah.
We got Steve Poltz, Stephen LaBelle.
That's
And then we
hilarious.
got Stephen Malley. He's doing our
Yeah.
sound and production
Oh.
and lights. So we
Oh,
got
goodness.
lights and sound and all that. So it's a show of Steve. So
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a Steve show.
It's the
Yeah.
Steve show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So
I'm excited to know. I mean, I might not be available that night, but I will certainly promote it because I know my family. My
Sure.
brother is a friend of Stephen Heckbert's.
Well, we'd love to see you there.
And
you know, I
Bruce
was
would come
hoping
over
you
from
would say that.
Fredericton, and he would make a trip over. I'm sure he would.
yeah.
And I brought you ladies
Definitely.
each a ticket.
Oh my
We'd
goodness.
love to see you at the Vogue
Oh,
Theater.
nice.
There you
That's
go.
fantastic.
Woohoo.
Thank you.
I'm excited now.
I was going to
So-
ask if there was posters or not
Yeah,
that are
I-
up around the city. Now, is this on? Is there
We
a
got a
Facebook
Facebook event page for
You
this.
do?
There's
Okay.
posters around.
Okay.
And when I was out delivering the posters, and that's when I was wondering how the Tuesday night's going to work. And I've done other shows in the past, like
Right.
and sometimes most times on a Friday night or
Right.
something. And on the weekends in the city in the summer, you compete
There's-
with so
I
much.
exactly
You know what I mean?
hearing.
You got festivals,
agree.
events,
You're
weddings,
right.
graduation parties, this,
too
that,
much-
the
there's too
other.
much to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I
So
like
I
the
think what
Tuesday
we
night.
notched out here is a Tuesday night. That's all ours.
Quiet
Yeah.
night of the week,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
just
isn't that
it.
fantastic?
You know what
I think
and I
it's
love
great.
the involvement of the Rod too, and them
Yeah.
bringing in a new aspect to the Vogue. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few events at the Vogue, and Victor has done a phenomenal job
I
on the
know.
Vogue.
Yeah.
And to see that next step, I
Yeah.
love that idea.
Yeah.
He must be very excited about all this, using that as a venue, the Vogue.
Yes.
He's worked so hard on that.
No, that's just
Yeah.
it. Exactly.
He worked
It's
like a
so
dog
perfect.
to make that into what it is today.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and we're
how
going to
many-
kind of help along, you know what I mean? Get some hype
Yeah.
going and awareness.
I know, you're supporting it.
So
Yeah.
you've managed to get Steve Poltz now for Tuesday. Do you have anybody that you would love to have?
Oh, yeah.
Next.
I got a list that long.
Oh,
you know?
right. Bring them
Like,
to Miramichi.
Yeah, what are we
music do
working
I
on
like?
for
I
next
like-
time?
yeah.
And have a bar. You have to have a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But I like East Coast music a lot, you know, and I love, say, David Miles.
Yes.
Matt Mays. I like a
Yes.
whole range of
They've
stuff.
been here, right? Those two
Yeah.
players have done the Miramichi.
Yeah, I've seen David Miles at the James and Hill
Mm-hmm.
Theater with the Vinyl Cafe. Yeah,
Oh, neat.
yeah, and there's a ton that.
Do
I'd love
you
to-
perform at all, Darren? You have a love for the music, but do you do
I can play
anything
the
music?
spoons.
Me too.
Oh,
I can't even do that. We have a spoon
No.
jam on the
Yeah.
show. That would be
I
so
can't do that either.
cool.
They won't let
Well,
me
I
sing.
can.
Yeah,
They won't
Play
let
them a
me
little
sing.
bit, so-
I sing one
And
song.
last
and
time I
that's
was
it.
in Newfoundland, I picked up a Newfoundland ugly stick.
Oh,
You ever
that'd be
see
like
them?
nobody.
You
No,
just
and I
shake
I
and
think
you
it hit me somewhere. I think it hit me this morning. That ugly
Crush it,
stick.
yeah.
No, really. What is an
No.
ugly stick?
It's just an ugly stick with bottle cap screwed into it. And
Oh,
a good
yes.
stick for shaking
Yes,
it.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
seen one.
Oh my
I have seen it
goodness! I
before.
must get me
I've
one.
showed up to
That's
parties
awesome.
with that, and actually Kaylee there in St. John, New Brunswick, and they welcomed me into the circle. I was the 23rd member of this
Oh,
band
geez.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
You could open for the Steve.
I
You
think
never
so.
know,
Yeah, the Steve show.
No, you'll see me
Yeah.
back in the corner, you know.
Yeah. Darren and his ugly stick.
That'll be the title.
That'll be-
That's a great idea.
These
No.
tickets are pretty impressive looking too. Did you design those?
No, actually, Newcastle Printing did that.
did a
and the lady I
beautiful
used to work
job.
with, Ann Gooden, we used to
Oh,
work
yeah.
at the Miramichi Leader a long time ago.
Okay.
And
That's a cool
yeah,
looking
yeah,
ticket.
She's a talented lady.
So-
and another sponsor I didn't mention was 993 The River.
Oh, they're wonderful.
They sponsored
Okay.
it, and they're helping get the word out.
They are
That
great.
this is coming up.
Yeah.
So the Shad Bangers. That's an unusual name. Shad's
Yeah,
a fish.
it is an unusual name. And,
Well,
and
as in the
Steve,
fish?
Steve Eckert could probably describe it best, but he said they showed up in 1982 to record his Bottoms Up album, and then I think this is, don't quote me on this.
No.
And Steve will certainly set me straight here, but anyway, they were getting ready to print this album. They said, well, and who are you? Well, I'm Steve Eckert. And who's the band? And then one of them, I think it was Ollie Dixon. He said, "Shad Bangers," and then it stuck.
Isn't that
It just came
funny?
out of
It came
nowhere.
out of his mouth. Just
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
So just tell everybody once again where you can get tickets beforehand.
At Ben's,
Yeah.
the Rod front desk,
Okay.
and Mill Cove Coffee here on the
Now,
square.
it is a 19 and over event.
It is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Right.
That's right. Yes.
So we
It's good
can
to
all
know.
go.
Yes.
So we can all go. How many people
Bring
now
your ID.
can? How many can be
320.
housed? 320.
Okay, so get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
Yeah,
There's only
yeah,
room for
yeah, and things
320.
has really started moving in the last week
Yeah,
or
of
so.
course.
This has been
Oh.
top of mind for me since February. You know what I mean? And so I've been
Super. You're
thinking about it,
promoting
planning
it.
on it, and but I find in just in the last couple of weeks it's taken off.
We are kind of a slow to get our tickets.
Yeah,
kind
we
of
are
going.
known for that.
Last
It'll
minute
be-
people.
We
Yeah.
are. We have to.
And
Yeah.
it's tough for planning purposes.
Yeah.
I will
No.
admit.
But if you
Yeah.
snooze, you lose. I've said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to go to that,"
Yeah.
and I thought I'm definitely going to that, and then there's no tickets available
No.
at the
Yeah,
end of it.
exactly.
So you know, be
No, that's happened.
Yeah.
be keen, be out there and get it. He looks
But
like a
there's
pretty cool guy. Steve Poltz, where's he from?
He was born in Halifax.
Okay.
And then as a child, around 10 or 11, his family moved to San Diego. So that's where he's based out of
Oh,
San
you're
Diego.
kidding.
right
He's
now.
coming all the way from San Diego.
Yeah.
So we have a world-class performer here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to blow the socks out.
Oh,
People.
my
He's
heavens.
really, really.
We're pretty
And to have
excited.
that connection
Yeah.
with Jewel, who is extremely well known, is
I
quite
know.
the thing that's passed too.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring your
Oh,
spoons,
yeah.
and I'll bring mine. Veronique
Yeah.
sings,
Can
and
I
Audrey's
use
going to do the
the
wine, and
No,
I'm
I'll
just going to
That's
pour
it.
the wine. I will pour
Well, they
the
won't let
alcohol.
me sing, Darren. They won't let me sing. They don't love me enough here to let me sing.
Well, you know Steve Liddell,
That's
right?
because we
If you're
love
waiting
you.
in the wings, he might
It's
just
because
invite
we
you.
love you. We don't let you sing.
Yes.
That's why.
because we're live. We can't cut her off.
We can't cut it out. Yeah.
No, that's
They
not
used
true.
to love me, but they don't.
So you're going to just keep on going and going. We're going to keep on promoting Miramichi and travel
Exactly,
and
yeah.
bring things to us.
Because this isn't
and that's
just
the idea,
specific.
is to get this off the ground. If it works, we'll do
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
If it don't, we'll think of something else.
You
We
say
had a good
we. You say we will do it again. Is it a
Me and
specific?
you and you and
Yeah.
you.
Oh, we're in there now. We're a volunteer committee all of a sudden.
We as a community. you
Yeah,
know,
no,
Yes.
it's true. Yeah, and I think
Exactly.
and there's been that home concert series as well that's happened around the
Yeah, and they're
quite a bit, which is fantastic. I know Chad DePlacy and Robin Martin and all them have really enjoyed that over the last number of years. And,
yeah, and they're an inspiration to this because I take part in them,
Yeah.
and I was like, they're doing it. You know,
and
they're
most people
doing
don't
things.
know that stuff happens.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah,
Like
no,
Robin
they,
Martin and
yeah,
all that?
no, the home concert. Well, because I'm friends with all of them on
I
Facebook.
know, he's a
right?
great
So,
guy.
Yeah, I get to see all of that. But that home concert series, they bring some neat groups in.
They do,
Wow.
yeah.
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 Exactly. Well,
I
that,
love it all.
That kitchen party atmosphere and there's just so much talent here in
yeah.
Miramichi. It
And the
just-
thing about this small city is that we know each other. Like we can
Yeah.
go and turn around at the concert and say, "Oh, hi," and everyone enjoys it together as
Yeah.
knowing one another, as opposed
Yeah.
to when you go to the city. If I attend something in Toronto, for
Yeah,
example,
it's not the
you're
same,
there
is
on
it?
your own, and you can't really. You're sort of
can't-
like that one person that doesn't know a soul,
Yeah.
and you're enjoying it to the max, but you can't relate.
You can't
to say,
share
Veronique,
that
did you
with
like it, Veronique,
the
or
people
Audrey?
you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love doing
Yeah.
that.
But I love the price point on this because it's world class music, but for a very affordable price.
Very.
Yeah.
You know, I
$20.
mean, you would spend $60 or $80 in another city to go.
Do you
see
know what I spend to go to the movies?
Yeah, there you go. To go see that kind of like concert, like nobody goes to a
No.
4-hour movie, right? For
No.
$20.
No, the
So-
Titanic was the closest we got.
Oh, and we saw it at the Vogue.
And we did.
Live entertainment has to be one of my absolute favorite, whether it's going
Yes.
to a play or
Mhm.
whether it's music.
For sure.
You don't get that same charge
Yep.
in watching a movie. Though
Yeah.
the movies and the special effects and everything are really great and they're getting better all the time, but that live theater
Is
and that
the
live,
best. I agree.
you can't get that anywhere else. You can't
Yeah.
bottle that.
And things
Yeah.
are so staged when you're at an event. I've been to big events where you're sitting in the audience and they're telling you where to sit and how to clap and when to
Yeah.
stand up and
Yeah.
go woohoo. It's just so rehearsed. I don't like that.
Yeah. And even I find
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't do Steve Poltz
No,
justice.
sure.
There's a ton of
No,
YouTube stuff
okay,
out there, but
okay.
Yeah.
you don't really capture what the live essence is all about.
No.
And my wife, after taking her to see him live, and then I for months showing her, hey, check this out, and she goes, Darren, when you're promoting this concert, she said, don't
Don't
share
use
too
that.
much YouTube stuff because it doesn't do
I
him justice.
know.
You know what I mean? You got to
We
get
want it up close and
Yeah, you
personal,
got- yeah.
and we're going to get it.
yeah.
Okay, so $20 for the tickets.
$20.
Mill Cove,
Yep. The
Ben's.
Rod,
the Rod,
Ben's.
and Ben's.
Everybody
is
knows
where
where
you can
those
get
places
them.
Yeah,
are.
or they can contact me.
August 2nd.
Yeah.
Doors open at 6. Show
Yeah.
starts at 7.
At the
That's
Vogue
right.
Theater on Kennard Street.
And there'd be
Exactly.
food and some
And
good
the
liquor.
bar's
And
open.
Food and some good liquor.
And because of that, it is 19 and up
Yeah.
for the age group to go.
Yeah.
And you can check it out on your Facebook page, correct?
Exactly.
For the event, so
Yeah.
you're not going to want to miss that. Thank you
No.
so
Thank
much
you for the ticket as well.
Yes.
No, I'm
Thank you
excited.
very much,
Thanks
Darren.
for
Very
spreading the
much.
word.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Have a Chat. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Have a Chat. We just had 2 great, amazing guests on the show.
We
were
did.
we did. We really did. We had Brad Russell,
Yes.
who was from the James M. Hill Alumni. He's an
Yes.
executive that sits on that board. He told us all about all their projects, everything that they've done in the last 4 years.
Is
just
pretty
from is
incredible.
insane.
I'm so-
really.
And I know, and you know, and I'm involved with the association. Judy and I have emceed some events for them and
Yeah.
judged some events and stuff like that.
And we're all
I
alumni.
had no idea
Yeah.
what they had done.
Well, I
Yeah,
did
that
only
they've
because of my
accomplished in
background with
such-
the school, like
Yeah.
having sitting on committees. I knew all they did, and I
Yeah.
thought so
Yeah.
awesome that now the community and provincially, they know and people can
Yeah, exactly. So
recognize
kudos to them, and
Yeah.
you know, keep up the good work.
Hard,
It's
hard
fantastic.
workers.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's always something that can be done in a school system
Mm-hmm.
with our upgrading and those kinds of things that are no longer funded, unlike
know.
years before when we went to high school where the government
Yep.
funding was there to
Kicked
help
in.
with all of that, and now that that's not the case anymore. That things
They
have
really
changed.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they
it's all
really do.
volunteer, right?
Heart
Yeah,
and soul.
exactly.
So we
That's
want to
just
thank
it.
them again.
Definitely, and then we just had Darren McCormick.
I know.
He was some excited
Yes, he
about
was.
Now we are.
passionate
Yeah.
about the concert, the singing
Yeah.
concert that he's helped to organize and mastermind. That's coming up August 2nd. So you're
Yeah,
not
he's
gonna
a
wanna
great
miss
guy,
that.
Darren,
Yes.
too. And thank him again. We will for publicly for coming on and bringing this to
Yeah.
our area.
So we're actually doing things a little backwards today.
Yeah.
We're having our quick chat portion of the show at the end, just due to
Scheduling.
scheduling
We'll go with scheduling
difficulties.
difficulties,
But anyway,
okay.
so we're going to get started with our quick chat portion of the show. We did have a number of things that we wanted to talk about. We had upcoming the Miramichi Folk Song Festival. You
Yes,
wanted to
just
mention.
another blurb again.
Yep.
And as we know, Susan Butler is just so involved in that and getting it together again with her crew. So it's the 59th Miramichi Folk Song
Right.
Festival, Sunday, July 31st to Friday, August 5th. And I talked about it a bit last week, but I'll just say that the official opening is at 7 o'clock, August 1st, with the guest speaker, local noted author Doug Underhill, and platform guests, Deputy Mayor Adam Lorden, MP Pat Finnegan, MLAs Honorable Bill Fraser, Honorable Lisa Harris, 34-year volunteer director Susan Butler, wow. MC is Patty Quinn, special musical guests are the Miramichi Fiddlers and Valdi, and tickets are on sale at Brookdale Flower Shop, Kingston Car Wash, or call Susan at 622-1780.
34 years she's been
Wow.
doing this. And it's been going on for 59 years,
Nine,
but
but-
she's been
I know.
festival director for 34 years.
And that's just one thing she does.
I know. Well, she goes all year
Yeah,
round.
just one.
Yeah,
Of
she
the
goes all year
10
round.
million.
keeping this
Very,
afloat.
very
Yeah.
keen
Yeah.
woman and a great drive behind the
Yeah.
Miramichi
Yeah.
activity, I
Oh
tell
my
tell you that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you're not going to want to miss that either.
No, she's amazing.
You have something to tell us about too.
Well,
Sam Crowell's play?
Yes.
Tell
So
us.
Sam Crowell, he is the director and creative mind behind Buttercup Productions, and just truly a phenomenal young man.
He is. He's been
And,
on our show.
Yes, and he wrote and directed a play last year called On the Wind, the musical. So it is actually being revived for this weekend only, coming up. And it is a story of two siblings coming from Ireland to Miramichi, and what their lives were like back then. And it's filled with traditional, contemporary, and original Irish music. And he sang one of the numbers during our opening ceremonies for the Irish Festival.
Didn't even know he sang.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
What a talented young man
Yes,
he is.
no, he's
Gifted,
incredibly talented.
Very.
And he's a wonderful actor, but he's an incredible director and writer.
Oh.
And I'm really very thankful that I've known this young man for many,
Sweetheart.
many years.
He's
But
sweetheart.
it's going to be happening this weekend. Tickets are $10 for children, students, and seniors, and $15 for adults. And they can be purchased at the Vogue in advance or at Brookdale's, Jean Coutu, and the Captain's Galley at Middle Island. And of course, it is at the Vogue, the production.
What night?
Let me just come back to you with that
Sam
one.
is so multi-talented.
Because we know it's not Tuesday.
No, we know it's not Tuesday, but you know what? I'm at a loss, but I know it's this weekend, and I think it's running every night this weekend.
We have a lot of
you're
events.
kidding.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let me just find the poster while you two talk about something else.
Yes. No,
I want to
definitely.
talk about a friend.
Yes, you said you had
I-
bumped into a childhood friend.
Yes, well,
from-
my mother had this
Okay.
friend for years and years from Teachers College and roomed with her. And unfortunately, she passed away. They'd been living in Toronto. But as a young woman, my mom's friend used to bring, she has family in the Escuminac area, and she used to bring her niece with her. And we became childhood friends. So from the age of 5 until 14, we would go to the exhibition together and hang out and chase butterflies and sing songs and everything. And Cheryl was an amazing young childhood friend. Well, we got in touch. Finally, after all these years, she lives in Mississauga. We met up at Boston Pizza for a glass of wine and some finger food. She knew me. I knew her. I think it was just that we expected. She's still blonde. She knew I was a brunette. You know, there weren't many people at the time we arrived. And we connected like we've never left off.
Oh,
It was
isn't
that
amazing.
amazing? Yeah.
And she was so proud to catch up on her son, Spencer McPherson. If you Google him, he's on Degrassi High series. He's a TV actor.
Oh, wow.
And I think he is Hunter Hollingsworth. And then he plays, I think it's a king on the show, TV show on Netflix and Family Channel on the TV show Reign, R-E-I-G-N.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love that
Do
show.
you?
I
Okay.
watch
but
it
I've
all the
seen it.
time.
I've
So
seen
his name is Spencer McPherson.
Wow.
And she has an older daughter that's this glorious looking child and very, very sweet natured apparently. And she's 24. And I went, ding dong, I have a son 24. There you go. So my childhood friend and I could be in-laws
There you
someday.
go. That's good. I
Bottom
like
of
that.
the story. I couldn't believe it.
Isn't that wonderful?
It was
love
so
friendships like
exciting.
that.
Isn't that wonderful?
I
So I
love
have the
friendships.
information on Sam's
Oh,
play.
Sam's.
Yes.
Yeah, just before
Okay.
I forget. So it's July 30th to
July.
August 1st.
30th.
Yeah,
August
7:30 at the Vogue. And so you can get tickets there or those other places that I mentioned.
Yes.
Right.
And truly wonderful production. And you know, you want to
Bringing
make sure
it
that
back again.
you want to make sure that you go see it. So yeah,
Yeah.
July 30th to August 1st.
Support Sam Crowell.
Yes,
Yes, definitely.
yes.
So other big news.
What's big? What's big?
Big news for our quick chat portion
Yes.
of the show. Two things we're going to talk about. Melina's speech.
Melania?
Melania, is that how
Yeah,
we're going
Melania.
to
No,
pronounce it?
she-
Melania?
She says it Melania.
Melania.
That's her name.
Melania.
Melania
We're going to
Trump.
talk about her speech.
Well,
Yeah.
How
God love her.
She looked good. She looked awesome.
No, and you know, and
I'm gonna be honest. There was so much going on Facebook about it,
I
and
know.
I didn't click on any of it and watch it and listen to it at all.
I
'cause
feel
was
for. I
just
did.
like-
I did watch it.
I
I feel
did
for
too.
her. I feel for
Yeah.
her because you know, public speaking is not her strong suit, and she's
No.
talked about that before. And to get up in front of 35 million people
I know.
on live
Well,
TV
yeah.
and in person, you know, that would do awful things to anybody.
But the only thing is, she wouldn't even have to open her mouth and people would watch her.
Totally,
She's so
totally,
She's so
totally.
stunning.
She
She
is
could just,
stunningly
she could just
gorgeous.
stand there and
Yeah.
mumble.
She is stunningly
But
gorgeous.
no, to
But
not be funny.
To have to what, and I firmly believe that she didn't write the speech. I firmly believe that someone wrote that speech, and to give that to her in this day and age,
they would all have someone writing it for them, and
Oh,
they
of
would
course.
you would think they'd
course.
proofread
Yes.
it, like, and then.
But I mean, and she wouldn't know. I mean, why would she? You know, why would she suspect that somebody
Have
else had
researched
said
it.
that?
Right.
Like,
You wouldn't have looked into her
I
Michelle
feel for
Obama's.
her.
I know.
It's an
Yeah.
incredible blunder on
Yes.
the campaign's part.
Yeah.
But I feel for her because she's taken all the blowback
Oh,
for
yeah.
it, right? And you know, they said, well, she can't. You know, she has to be an idiot, and you know what? Like she's got a life that she has to live. She's married to this man.
Sad.
Yeah.
By choice, but she's married to this man. She has children.
God help her. No,
You know,
sorry.
she has children, and she has to live her life. And the attacks that she's been undergone.
That's the part I have a
Especially
problem
where
with.
she didn't write herself.
Well, really,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, I mean,
No.
and
People are
she
being
wouldn't. She would
outright
never
cruel,
think
though.
that somebody
I
would
wonder
do
what
that.
Donald Trump thought of that all.
Well,
Like when he
Did
actually
he even
heard
make
it-
a statement?
No, but you'd
after
think
that?
he would look
He said
over
she
her
didn't do it.
speech, wouldn't you have to sort of kind of proof it a
You
little
would
bit?
think her husband would go
Well, like if
over
I was
it.
going to give a speech
No,
on that,
you have to think about what this campaign is, okay? Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest night of his life. He's not worried about her speech.
oh,
He's
he
not
should have
worried
been
about,
though.
but he wouldn't know that was plagiarized either.
I know, but it's such a big thing for her to do.
For sure.
And for her to be his wife, that I would say, like, what are you going to pass by the public here? What are you going to be saying?
Yeah,
and
no,
then
he would have trusted his people that he's hired and paid.
Oh, well, there.
Right? He trusted his people that he's
Well,
hired
he's got
and
a
paid.
couple of people that I think he should
Well,
double check on.
not real. Well, one of his writers did take. She did take responsibility for it, and she
Okay.
did tender her resignation. They did
Oh,
refuse
really?
it. Yeah, they did refuse it.
Okay.
And said it was just an honest mistake. And the way she explained it was that she had had a conversation with Melania Trump on the phone. Melania Trump had watched videos of speeches that she was women that she was
Yes,
inspired by,
yes.
and one of them happened to be Michelle Obama because of course she's a phenomenal
lady.
woman.
Yeah.
And she was inspired by her speech, and so she had told her a few things that she liked. And so the speechwriter, this is the statement by the speechwriter.
right.
The speechwriter apparently had written these things down, and then never went back to check on them.
And it wouldn't be too bad if it had been one clause.
No, but it was like-
one little or
Really?
two,
Oh,
three
was it?
repetitive things that Michelle Obama had said. It was
Really?
like major amount of
Chunks.
lines.
Okay.
Chunks.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
verbatim.
No. Well, like the kids in school, like plagiarizing is an automatic
That
F.
it's a
Well, there's a
no-no.
very
Like-
very cheap or free program on the internet that you plug papers through.
And it will tell
It
you.
will tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, there's
Everything
no
on the
reason for
internet.
this. But I feel for her
How much
because
do
of
you
the
feel?
abuse.
And
Yeah.
any comments on Michelle Obama? Anything that she
No.
said
She's
in
not saying-
reply?
No.
Did she reply?
I
She didn't
haven't
say.
seen anything.
I
haven't
just
seen
wonder
anything.
what she thought of somebody. If I gave a speech that was identical almost to yours, you
I
would be
would keep
saying,
my mouth shut.
Well, she probably feels for her.
I know.
you
Yeah,
she's a nice lady.
'cause she, if anybody knows,
She understands.
knows what it's like to be under
Yeah.
that kind of gun.
Yeah, and I
And-
mean, and speaking publicly is
Poor
not
old
Melania's
thing. No,
strong
no,
suit.
no.
Like she's never
In the public-
pretended to be.
She's
No.
not in the limelight.
Exactly.
So
No,
really,
that's
like
just
embarrassing.
It had to have been
Yeah.
tough, and I am not
No.
a supporter of Donald Trump, but I really feel
Yeah.
totally.
We can all go there.
Totally, but I feel for Melania because
I do too.
the
Yeah.
blowback that she's had has been awful.
And she was
No,
up there trying to
that's
be
just
so
it.
poised
Yes.
and giving her
Yeah.
all,
Yes.
giving it her
Exactly.
all.
Yeah.
And then
That's
to
just
have
it.
that kind of backflack.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So the other biggest rage I talked about on Facebook, besides that, Pokemon Go.
Oh my gosh.
Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Where?
Yeah,
Like,
outside,
go home.
outside. Pokemon go outside.
Such a huge topic at this point.
It is absolutely insane,
The rage.
and it's the rage. I have 4 kids. I'm not gonna lie. They're all running outside, and I'm in a catch-22. I love the idea that people are outside, moving, going,
With
and
their
doing-
family too.
Yes,
But is it really? Are people watching what they're doing? Are they stepping out into traffic? Are
Well, let's
they,
just-
like,
Going
in the
what's
middle of the
going
night
on
let's just
there?
talk about that for a second.
Like what
You
what
experienced
part
it.
of that
Yeah.
is real?
Well, so I decided because the insanity that is Pokemon Go. I decided I'm not a gamer, and I posted on Facebook. I'm not a gamer. I don't get it.
You're
I
a good
don't.
sport, though,
I
baby.
the thought of sitting in front of a controller for the next 15
But you're
hours.
our test subject.
And she
Yeah,
is
so-
game for
Yeah,
anything.
I am, and I
You
will try
are,
anything.
You
I will
are, and
try
I'm not a
anything.
game for anything.
No, I will
person.
try. I will try anything. So I thought, okay, so everybody's talking about Pokemon Go, right? So I downloaded it, and I grabbed 2 of my coworkers, and it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. So we took our break, right? We took a coffee break, and I said, we're going outside. And they're both looking at me. One's in her 20s and the other one's retired. So they're both looking at me and like, really? I'm like, yes. So
You're gonna do
off
it.
we headed outside, and you know what? We laughed.
Had a ball.
It was fun, and we only did it for about 15 minutes,
Yes,
right?
that's
but we
fine.
ran into people like.
So you went to the park?
Yes,
or
we went to
you-
Waterford Green.
Okay. And
Right.
you stayed within that vicinity?
Yes, because I'm not going out in the road.
Okay. Okay.
You know, but we ran into people. Like I saw Waterford Green full of people like that you normally don't see.
There you go.
You know, and so many of my friends have commented on the fact that they're spending real time with their kids,
I
and
agree.
it's a shared experience. Now, you know, we didn't fall in the river, and I've watched videos of people falling in the river.
Good
Not
Lord,
our river,
no.
but in you know.
Not yet.
You know,
There's nobody
and
missing.
No,
if you're in
and
the
I,
Shady
you know, and there
River.
was one video I saw, and it had to have been 100 to 150 people run out in the middle of a freeway, like a freeway like you would see in Toronto,
I'm getting
Okay.
the
or
goosebumps on my
Los
arms.
Angeles,
4 lanes,
right? And I
401
thought,
lanes.
give your
Yeah.
head a shake. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? That
Yeah.
I don't get. But you know what? Going out and spending some time with your family and your kids and getting
Yeah.
some exercise and
And having fun.
and playing something very innocent.
Be safe, that's
Okay.
all.
I think
That's
it's great.
just it.
And you know
Good.
what? And to me, like we've always complained that no one's going outside, right?
True.
And so just because going outside in this
Yeah.
way isn't the way you and I all
No.
played outside
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's wrong.
No.
And
Exactly.
Now, the crazy people who are running out in the street, I have a little
Okay.
problem with. Okay.
Yes.
But having some minutes of fun with your friends and your kids, I think it's.
But you have to do
It's
it
a
safely
phase.
because
Yes.
I have posted just recently a video that I shared that has to do with the Pokemon Go.
Yep.
And it's a test. It was an experiment, and an older gentleman, late 20s, early 30s, he's out in a park.
Yep.
Checking, and then there's other kids there, and he comes across 2 young girls, and immediately they have a connection because we're all
Yep.
playing the same game,
Yep.
and he talks them into their car.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
But
God.
right.
Because he's like, oh, there's a Pikachu
Oh.
here.
But
Do you want to catch a
but
Pikachu
just
with
because
me?
we're playing a game does not throw all of our good sense out the window.
No, I
right?
know.
True,
And
but
that's
he
the
was
problem.
making a point to
Yeah,
let the because
understandable.
he's coming across the 12, 13,
Yeah,
and
of course.
14-year-olds, and he's like, "Oh, my friend just called him. There's a Pikachu here. Do you want to come with me?" And they're hesitant. You can hear them go. He goes, "Well, my car is right here."
yeah.
He said, "Mind you, it's just around the corner." He gives the girls an out. It's just around the corner, but we'll jump in my car, and they go.
la.
And he gets to the car and he says to them, "Why are you coming with me?
Yeah.
You don't know me." They have a similarity because
Yeah,
they're playing
of
the
course.
same game, and it's a sense of security. So, and he was like, "Be safe."
That's
So-
the big thing is be
Yeah,
safe. Have
and,
fun
I,
and
and,
be
I,
safe.
and I agree, but
Yeah.
you know, those are all the things that we teach our kids on a daily
I
basis,
know, I
right?
know.
Should be.
You know,
Skills too.
Yeah,
to
and I
be
mean,
sensible.
it's not just kids that are doing this. I mean,
No.
you know, adults are doing this too.
That's
It was
right.
adults
Doing
that I saw
crazy
running in
things,
the
running.
freeway.
I just find the video game world somewhat more addictive.
Of course.
the what, Bob?
Right. The video world.
Yes.
I find some, because of my kids and
Yeah.
boys specifically, when they're in it, it's like nothing
Yeah.
else exists.
So engaged.
I'm
But
screaming, "Zapper!"
But you know
or
what though?
whatever.
I saw the cutest thing yesterday. So I
Okay.
looked out my window out onto Waterford Green, and I saw, and they were a younger couple, probably in their early 20s, walking hand in hand with their phone in their hand, looking for the
Oh,
Pokemon.
see.
You know, and I thought,
boy.
isn't that cute?
It is. It's
Yeah.
a date.
Like, isn't that cute?
Well, it's
Yeah.
a date for
Yeah.
some couple
Yeah.
that have a good time.
Exactly.
But I mean, you have to be sensible about
You do.
these things.
You do.
So, changing the subject, we went to the Nancy Lorden
Yes.
benefit
Okay. Yes.
on Saturday on Waterford Green.
The barbecue, yeah.
And it was a barbecue.
It was beautiful.
Great. Until I got home before it thunder showered.
before. Oh,
It was a hot day,
Yeah.
and it was in honor of her, and
Yeah.
you could give a donation towards the Nancy Lorden Scholarship.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were jumping castles, and there was
wonderful.
food,
Was there?
and there was
Yeah.
a bunch of people milling around, and so I was glad I was able to make it to
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's something
Second-
that happened. There
second
was
annual.
Okay. Where did
Yeah,
they have
her
that?
Waterford Green. Her children, led of course by our deputy mayor and interim
Adam.
mayor Adam Lorden, and Andrew and Emily. So they put that together this second year.
nice.
The fire department was there. They had entertainment.
Yeah,
and,
Nancy was such a great girl.
Oh, my goodness,
Like
yes.
we miss her still, and it
Yeah.
kind of just felt her presence.
and the memory wall was
day.
beautiful, where
Yes,
you could
it
write a
was.
memory of her.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Yeah, but it goes towards the scholarship fund.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
There's so much
fantastic.
happening.
No,
Yeah.
that's just it. A little touch on the weather before we go.
Oh my gosh.
It was a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yes.
Great weekend. I just want to say everybody can measure the
Aw,
humidity
we were
in
all
the air
talking about our
by
hair
our
today.
hair.
What do you do?
Hopefully
Either-
we're actually off next week.
Yes,
That's
we are.
right. Which
Holiday.
is nice long weekend that we'll all get a chance to
Yes.
enjoy.
Don't miss us too much. We'll be back.
Yes,
August
definitely.
8th.
Don't forget to check us out on our Facebook page. You can be part of the process. You can give us your thoughts and ideas on shows that we can do in the future, different subject matters, different guests that you'd like to see us have.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be great. Thanks
Anything
for
at all.
joining us here at Have a Chat.
Happy
from Vero,
holiday coming up.
Judy, and from me, Audrey. We'll see you again next week.